Hey guys, what's up? This is Jeff. Welcome back to the TheGeekBlend podcast. And tonight is Halloween night, so I wanted to do something a little different. Every Halloween night for the last 16 years, I watched the original Halloween movie from John Carpenter from 1978. And this year I figured I'd do an audio commentary for you guys because this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I figured, why not give an audio commentary where I can just ramble on and ramble on and ramble on about this movie I love so much. But I'm sure it'll be fun, and I'll get into some stuff that I'm sure I'll get off topic here and there, but you know that's what a podcast is about. Let's get off topic. But if I sound different or better today, it's because I'm working with a new microphone. It's a Shure mic. It's working. It's a direct mic for my iOS devices since I'm still using iPhones and iPads and stuff to record and do podcasts. But you know what? That's what I got to work with, so that's what we're going to do. But I think it sounds pretty good, so let's work with it. So we're going to start on it's going to be the Blu-ray 35th anniversary edition of Halloween is what we're going to be working with. I'm using my PlayStation 4. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started up here. So let's get that going. Okay, there's the menu right there. So let's go ahead and push play on this bad boy. Okay, play. Okay. Music playing. I've got the subtitles on, by the way. Comes to International Pictures release. I still believe this is the most successful and lucrative independent film of all time, if I'm not mistaken. So, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool fact. Donald Pleasance. I think they spent like half their budget just to get him in this movie. It was worth it, though. His performance as Dr. Loomis is just classic. I actually carved a jack-o'-lantern tonight to look just like that one. Doesn't look as good as that. The pumpkin's just not the same shape. It's a different shape, but it looks just pretty close. I'm staring at it right now. Got some Halloween candy next to me and some apple cider as we get ready to watch this. I don't know what started my tradition of watching this on Halloween night, but I think I remember the first time I watched this. I was little. When we were little, I'm going to go off topic here and now from, Halloween and my childhood and stories, I'm sure here and there, and, from the nostalgia of the film. But the first time I watched this, I stayed up. I actually snuck downstairs and watched this on TV after I was supposed to be in bed, after we got done trick-or-treating. That's how I watched this, and that's how I watched the original Night of the Living Dead. I think it was the same night. I watched them back to back on TV. But yeah, when I saw this, I think I was like 10, maybe 11. I snuck downstairs in our living room, used our old, big old like TV that sat on the floor. Had the crank dials on the side. I mean, it was old school TV. But yeah, that was pretty cool. It was like my first experience alone with a horror movie, I believe. My brothers had watched one with me, here and there, but this is my first time. I might have been 8, maybe 9, but this is John Carpenter, directed by John Carpenter. The one thing I like about this movie so much is how well he directed this film. I mean, yeah, it's not a perfect movie, don't get me wrong. It's in my top 10 of all time, though. It's not perfect. There's not many perfect films out there, but it's pretty close. This opening scene here, I believe the hand that they used to pull the knife out of the drawer in the kitchen is actually John Carpenter's wife, Deborah Carpenter. But there's some really good special features on this Blu-ray. I have the Blu-ray set of all the films, including the director's cut of Halloween 6, I believe it is. But yeah. By the way, I apologize. My allergies are bothering me a little bit this evening. Hopefully that won't get in the way of our viewing experience. I love the POV scene here in the beginning. Occasionally I'll give you guys some time updates so you know where we are. That way you can follow along. I forgot to do this on PS4. Great scene. I forgot how to look on PS4 to see where I am. Okay, he's going in the kitchen. I'll kind of like mention some things here and there when things are happening. Light comes on the kitchen. Yep, producer's hand grabbing the knife. But yeah, I don't remember why I started watching this every year on Halloween. It was, I think, a year or two after my first divorce. I was with my family, and we were giving out candy in our neighborhood. Where my parents live now, we don't get many trick-or-treaters, which is a far cry from when I was a kid. There was like an ocean of kids in our neighborhood. We would go out with all of our friends, and it would just be kids everywhere. What always bothered me was, man, his sister and that boyfriend went upstairs, and they were only up there for just a couple of minutes from what it took him to go in the kitchen, get the knife, and walk in the living room. I mean, they were not up there very long, so he was kind of a two-pump chump. I guess you would say. But yeah, that always was like, how is he, yeah, okay. He is a teenager in high school, I guess. By the way, the thing that, like, I mentioned this on Facebook today, that I was going to watch this tonight and do my usual tradition, and people are like, I hope you're watching this one and not the Rob Zombie remake, and I don't do that one. I absolutely hate that film. He took away what was great about this film was the mystery and the surrounding Michael Myers. There was no great shot of his sister. But there was no, you don't need to know why people do everything. We don't need to everything explained to us like that. Michael! This movie is not very bloody at all, which some people, when you talk about movies from your childhood or movies when you grew up or something you saw that traumatized you, like I would say the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the biggest ones. People talk about how violent and disgusting that film is. There's hardly any blood in that film. And this one isn't that violent either. That's one of the reasons I like it. It's not over violent, it doesn't use violence. Great shot of him with a knife as his parents take his mask off. I love how it pans out like that. Crane shot. I'm sure that's like I believe that he said that's like a third of their budget was that crane shot, but I think they made it for $300,000. And even back then, it was a very, very small amount of money for a film. They might turn it down a couple notches. Smiths Grove, Illinois. October 30th, 1978. The introduction to Loomis here is probably still one of my favorite introductions to a character in a movie that I've seen. I mean, it's just such a, I don't know. He's such a good actor, Donald Pleasance. I'm so happy that they were able to get him for the limited amount of time he got. And they were able to secure him for the sequels of the film, But he has such great scenes in this movie. You understand his character pretty much immediately in this first introduction.
You ever done anything like this before? Only minimum security. Nice. The driveway's a few hundred yards up on the right. The only thing that ever bothers me is their gibberish.
They're gibberish.
And they start raving on and on.
Such a great atmosphere set up by this film, too.
He hasn't spoken a word in 15 years. Are there any special instructions? Just try to understand what we're dealing with here.
Pure and simply evil.
Don't you think we could refer to it as him?
That's what the zombie films got wrong. They had to explain his backstory so much, and we didn't need that. We didn't need to know why he was evil. He just is. He's just a force of nature that never stops. We don't need to know that he's some kid that was tormented in some white trash household where every other word was F or C this or B this. I mean, I thought the first half of that movie was pretty vile. The Rob Zombie one. It was just vile because it was just terribly stupid.
You actually never want him to get out. Never.
So when anybody asks you,
Counting if you're just gonna walk.
why do you prefer this one over the Rob Zombie film? You say, because this is the original film, and even I love the shot of all the patients on the yard like that. Sorry, I got distracted, but
Since when did it look?
that'll happen a lot during this. Excuse me.
Shouldn't we put
If you guys like these audio commentaries, let me know. I'm thinking about doing one for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition. My favorite film of 2016.
Shouldn't we go on up to the hospital and wait?
The introduction of Michael Myers here this is another great. Just, it's nothing major or nothing. It's just a little bit like him jumping on the roof. That's it. He doesn't have an axe. He doesn't smash her to pieces. I mean, I'm sure that's what they do nowadays, but and he just grabs her. That's it. Just really effective here. Like his hand in the window drops down and smashes the window like that. It's so effective. Love it. He just kind of climbs in. You barely see his face there as he climbs in the car. The score is brilliant. The evil is gone. Yeah, I know this may be pretty much line for line. Such a great introduction to Michael Myers and Loomis together. Their kind of co-introduction is what really sets everything up. Haddonfield. Halloween. I love how all the leaves blowing everywhere like it's fall when it's in Southern California, and they just kind of took leaves and scattered them everywhere. You look off into the distance and there's no leaves anywhere, but this house is like covered in leaves. It's great. And everything's green, but there are leaves everywhere like it's fall. I love it. Things you like that you don't notice until you see the behind the scenes features and stuff. You don't really kind of pay attention to that kind of stuff. Excuse me. And I believe Jamie Lee Curtis was pretty horrified by her performance in this, and John Carpenter had to tell her that she did a really good job. I think she does a really good job. There are some performances in this movie that are pretty questionable, and they're not the greatest, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I know some people don't like it as much, and some people really kind of, it holds them back from watching the film and enjoying it as much, but I don't let it get to me like that. It's a 70s, it's not, these aren't Oscar, worthy actresses and actors. Some of them are great. I mean, Donald Pleasance's performances is just one of the best in any horror film I've ever seen. And I think Jamie Lee Curtis does a great job of playing that scared, just like she's never been in that situation before. You can tell in the end, her performance, it feels real to me. It feels real. Tommy, I've seen the second one recently in the last couple of years because I started to watch Halloween 2 right afterwards. I started that a few years ago because it's kind of one movie if you watch it together. It's the same night. It's really good too. It's not even close. It's not as good as this, of course, but it's still really good. But I need to go through maybe the next week or so and just watch them all again because I love the Halloween franchise. It's really good. Spook House. Jump scare coming. Love it. That got my wife really bad the first time we watched it together. That was she jumped like pretty high up.
He said stuff happened there once. Lonnie Lamb probably won't get out of the system. I gotta go. See you tonight. Bye.
I love their chemistry together too. I think it's really believable. It seems like, you know, you believe that she's been watching this kid for a while. I love the heavy breathing in the mask too. That helps signify. You could tell like when the actor's on the actor who plays the shape is on screen when he's doing that heavy breathing. You could see him really get into that breathing.
Responsible, Sam. Oh no. I told him how dangerous he was. You couldn't have 2 roadblocks and an all-punch bullet and wouldn't stop a 5-year-old. But it's your patient, doctor. If precautions weren't strong enough, you should have told somebody. I told everybody.
Nobody listened.
Nothing else I can do. You can get back in there and get back on that telephone and tell him exactly who walked out of here last night and tell him exactly where he's going. Probably going. I'm wasting my time. Sam Hatfield is 150 miles away from here now. Now, for God's sake, he can't drive a car. He was doing very well last night.
Maybe somewhere around here gave him lessons. Yeah, I love that line. I love how Loomis knows exactly what's going on, what's happening, and nobody believes him until shit starts going down. Stuff. I'm trying to keep my podcast clean, so that's one thing we're going to try to do. So if I slip up here and there, I apologize.
Fate caught up with several lives here. No matter what course of action,
It's one of those movies where there's been a few Halloweens here and there where I've been preoccupied with other things, but I have it on the background and I still watch it here and there. Specific scenes, I still like this scene I have to watch. That just creepy presence of the shape standing outside behind the car and just staring at her like that.
answer the question.
But there have been some years where I've been preoccupied and I won't pay attention to the movie and I'll realize that it's almost over and I didn't pay attention to half of it. And I'll literally will turn it back on and watch it again. Because when I really pay attention to this movie, even though I've seen it 100 times, I get lost in it really easily because I really do love this film. I love the direction. I love what Carpenter did with that. I love the acting. I love the performances. I love just these subtle... It's not like over-the-top violent. It doesn't use that. I mean, and it spawned this huge, like, massive franchise behind it. Slasher films. Right after this, slasher films, like when Friday the 13th came out. I mean, that was because of Halloween. I don't think you would have had a Friday the 13th without Halloween. Some people might argue against that, but I don't believe you would have. I believe that got my wife too. Got me when I was little too. I was always worried when I walked around the corner when I was at school that he was going to be outside. Like 2 or 3 weeks after I watched this movie, I think I was about 8 or 9 when I saw it. I said 11 earlier, but I think I was 8 or 9. I believe for the first 2-3 weeks after I watched this at night, at Halloween night, every time I came around the corner outside at school, I looked to make sure he wasn't standing there. Because you never know, right? And then I was like, is he going to be stalking me when I come outside of school? Like I would tell my friends, like Michael Myers is going to be like in his car down the road just waiting for us. And I would scare the crap out of them too. And like, because they didn't stay up and watch it. There was a couple of my friends that watched this kind of stuff. But his parents would let him stay up and watch whatever he wanted. But not many parents like wanted their kids to watch this kind of stuff on TV. This and Night of the Living Dead when I was a kid, when I saw those, like that really like kind of impacted me in the horror genre. My allergies are bothering me. I really, really apologize for that. That's just, I know it gets annoying me kind of sniffling and stuff, but it's The weather's been weird up here lately. It's been cold and warm, then cold and warm. It was warm over the weekend, really nice. Now it's getting cold again.
You've got to believe me, officer. He is coming to Haddonfield. Because I know him. I'm his doctor. You must be ready for him.
I love this scene.
If you don't,
It's your funeral. Finds the guy back there. Yeah. Well, he actually doesn't find the guy. He just finds the truck. He sees some scrubs. This microphone is picking up a lot of noises, and if I just rub my beard or scratch my nose, it's picking everything up. So I apologize if you're hearing a lot of shit. But it's actually picking my voice up a lot better than my iPhone microphone was, so that makes me a lot happier. I've got my headphones on, so I can kind of mess with the audio and mess with the volume, so I know what I'm doing here, so that, you know, that helps out. Now here comes the totally stuff. Like, these girls say probably total. I think they say totally. I don't remember, but I believe me and an ex of mine counted it one year. And we did a shot for every time they said totally, and I'm not kidding you. We were totally wiped out. Totally.
As usual, I have nothing to do.
Fault, and I don't feel a bit sorry for you. Hey, Linda, Lori. Why didn't you wait for me? We did. 15 minutes.
I know I should be talking more, but like I said, I just get lost in this movie sometimes. But it's such a good movie.
What's wrong?
I never smiled again. Paul dragged me into the boys' locker room.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charged. Just talk. Sure. Old Jerko got caught throwing eggs and soaking windows. His parents grounded him.
While your baby's
Back then, kids got grounded for, you know, they just did egging and stubbing windows. But guess what?
I forgot my chemistry book.
And nowadays, it's a lot worse.
I always forget my chemistry book and my math book and my English book and my, let's see, my French book and, well, who needs books anyway? I don't need books. I always forget all of my books.
Don't know what happened.
It doesn't really matter if you have your books or not.
He's going really slow there, but then they pan over there again. His car is going probably 45.
I think it's cute.
There it is.
Jerk! Speed kills!
Love that. Maybe that's why she's a... Okay, I'm not... You know. Spoiler alert, maybe that's why she dies first.
You know, Annie, someday you're gonna bring us all into deep trouble.
Good apple cider.
I hate
From Engelbrecht Orchard in Evansville, Indiana. Some of the best.
Well, are we still on for tonight? I wouldn't want to get you in deep trouble, Linda. Oh, come on, Annie. Bob and I have been planning on it all week. All right. So I'll just leave at 7.
I do know they're working on another Halloween movie. And Carpenter's actually going to be producing it, which is really exciting news.
Listen to Linda screw around and
I'm trying to remember the last Halloween movie. Was it Resurrection? No, I'm talking. I don't want to. Yeah, it was zombies. Awful. Just crap fests of films. That's why I thought back to Resurrection, because it was the one that was just still decent. Gosh. Because it was very clever how they made him still alive in the beginning after the end of H2O. But, yeah. They still don't have a direction where they're taking the film, what they're going to do with it, but I hope they give Carpenter a little bit more to do. I wish he would just direct it. I wish he would just, you know what, I'm going to direct it, because I don't think they have a director yet either. I wish they'd let him just direct it and find another producer and not Michael Bay. When you Bay producing all these horror movie remakes.
Look where? Behind the bush. I don't see anything. So, isn't
That was my beard, I'm sorry.
creep. Lori, dear. Wants to take you out tonight.
I hope the new Halloween, wherever direction they take it in kind of more the spirit of the old films. And he's Michael Myers. He's a force of nature. He's a killing machine. He's just evil. He's not some kid who's picked on and tortured by his family and all this kind of crap.
Scared another one away.
I hope they really just kind of take it back to its roots. That's why I'm hoping that with Carpenter producing that we have a good chance of that. That's why I wish they'd get Sean Cunningham back on the Friday the 13th series as well, so they could kind of get that in the right direction as well. I mean, I didn't hate the reboot either of Friday. I thought it was really good. A lot of people didn't. I thought they did a decent job reinventing the franchise. It was different. People were like, well, it's not the same thing. Like, well, you wanted something different. Not a jump scare.
Excuse me.
Love it.
Mr. Bracken, I'm sorry, Mr. Bracken.
Oh, I didn't mean to startle you.
That's all right.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Love it.
Nice.
Everyone's entitled to one good scare on Halloween. That's one of my favorites. My favorite lines. The sheriff. And there it's been raining. You can tell. Kids trick-or-treating. There's like one group of kids. Great actress, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Kiddo. Thought you outgrew superstition.
Such a good movie to just fall into. Some people have their favorite movies that they just kind of fall into like that. This is one of mine, but I know I said that a few times, but it's true. Like I'll just kind of get into it. Like I've and there's Michael in the laundry. Michael, while you're down there, could you finish the laundry? I mean, you didn't finish the laundry, right, Michael. Michael, why didn't you finish the laundry? Is it kind of boring for you guys to listen to me do a commentary by myself?
Hello?
I've got some things coming for the Geek Blend. There's a couple of guys I got looking at to help me with some stuff. We're kind of looking into a relocation situation, me and my wife. So there's a couple people down in the place where we're looking that are very interested in joining the podcast and joining the channel, or the YouTube channel as well. So we got some stuff cooking, and if we do not relocate, there is another gentleman up here where I live that's interested as well in joining us and kind of hanging out and talking some stuff. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll see. If you out there are interested in being a contributor on the YouTube channel or on the website, just send me an email at TheGeekBlend@gmail.com. It's always nice to have more than one contributor out there on the website, or even in YouTube, guys, who make another, like, different reviews or different kind of stuff on the channel. That'd be great. I know, right? It's surprising that I'm plugging my own stuff on my own podcast. Wow. Yeah. Love the size of the pumpkin. I remember when we were kids, we'd go to the orchard, Engelberg's Orchard in Evansville, Indiana. That's where we get our pumpkins as well. And We want the biggest, we want the most perfect round pumpkin you could find, of course. Kids wanted perfect pumpkins, and it was great. I loved picking out pumpkins with my brothers, my mom, carving them, and going trick or treating. It's something that there's things that when you were a kid that you remember that you'll never forget. And our neighborhood, we had our neighborhood, which was two main roads and two side roads, and then behind us was another main neighborhood, neighborhood below it. So there are three main, pretty big sized neighborhoods, and they were full of kids. I mean, full of kids. My mom told me that the reason there were so many kids in the neighborhood is that other parents would drop their kids off in the neighborhood because they knew there would be so many kids there, they wouldn't have to worry about their kids being, it was different back then too. we were allowed to go out, by ourselves to play with our friends until it got dark outside or when we came home. So it was different, but it was so much fun. We get, the worst years were when it was raining though on Halloween. That was always awful. So we just stayed home and eat the candy we got. We would drive, our parents would drive us down to houses in different neighborhoods because it was raining, so we would drive a lot farther around and get more candy. And we'd come back. Still, we'd have plenty of candy, and we'd just watch Halloween stuff on TV.
He got himself a hacksaw. And then he went back to the house, and he kissed his wife and his two children goodbye.
And he proceeded to
It's right over here.
Judith Myers. Myers. I remember her.
He's a young boy. Well, he loves me. Why do they do it? Goddamn kids.
Everything's always the kids, right? Always the kids.
18, 19.
Judith Myers. Interesting. The night he came home. The tagline. Close to it.
I wasn't spooked. Lie. I wasn't. Saw somebody standing with Mr. Riddle's back door.
It's like her friends smoke.
Mr. Riddle
They do the bad stuff, and she's smoking, but she's like, you can tell she hates it.
probably on the What's the pumpkin for? No, I brought it for Tommy. I figured carving a jack-o'-lantern would keep him occupied. I always said you'd make a fabulous Girl Scout. Thanks. For that matter, I might as well be a Girl Scout myself tonight. I plan on making popcorn and watching Dr. Dementia. 6 straight hours of horror movies. Little Lindsay Wallace won't know what hit her. My dad!
Get rid of this.
I always thought to myself, like, that didn't look like a cigarette. It looked more like a joint, but it was just a cigarette. Lori, stop, Kevin. What the hell are you doing? Be natural. Stop coughing. Put the blunt away.
Hi, Eddie. Laurie.
Hi, Dad. What happened?
What?
What happened?
Oh, somebody broke into the hardware store. Probably kids.
You blame everything on kids.
Well, now all they took was some Halloween masks, rope, and a couple of knives. Who do you think it was?
It's hard growing up with a cynical father.
Aren't you going to be late?
Huh?
I said, aren't you going to be late?
Shout.
Bye, girls.
Bye, Dad.
This is funny because he comes up to talk to the sheriff, and he's literally right behind him in the car. Great shot here, too, so it reveals him coming behind him.
Well, maybe a few minutes.
There he is.
10 minutes. I'll be here.
Like, he's right there. It's great. I love it. Michael's like, be cool. Drive casual. Drive casual. Just drive casual.
What's the matter with you? I think he knew. I'm sure he could smell it. No, he didn't. Did. See the look on He always looks like that. You know, we're in the dance floor. I didn't know you thought about things like
Using this new microphone tonight, if you hear me wrestle the wires and stuff, I'm still getting used to everything, so that won't happen the next time. The audio sounds really good, though. Like I said, I'm listening to it in my headphones, so it's sounding really good.
Sure you could. All you have to do is go up to somebody and say,
You want to go to the dance? Yeah, that's funny.
could do that. Well, you could ask Dick Baxter. He'd go out with you. I'd rather go with Ben Tramer. Ben Tramer? I know. See, do think about things like that, huh, Lori? Cute. Ben Tramer.
I love this. I love the soundtrack to this, the score. I mean, Carpenter like did it all himself and says he can't even like hold a note, but yet he composed one of the most iconic scores of all time. How do you do that? It's very simple. I'm sure it's not that difficult, but still, the way he did it. My allergies are terrible today, man. There's a car behind us with its lights on that keeps following us, but you know, whatever. No. Back then I'm sure people didn't like look at that stuff as much. Like nowadays, people will be back there with like a gun, like, what the are you doing? Follow me? What are you doing? Oh, you got a mask on? You ain't talking? Get out of the car. Yeah. That's how I beat it nowadays. Such an easy costume to do, too. I need some overalls and a William Shatner mask. I love how they did that. They just used a William Shatner mask that they found at a hardware store or a costume store in L.A. Got the eyes out and painted it white. There's your mask. And it's really creepy and iconic. I mean, they created a very just... It's seared... It gets seared into your brain. And this guy, I can't remember his name that played Michael Myers, but he just did, well, The Shape. He just does such a good job. And I collect a lot of stuff. I don't have a mask, like a really good version of that mask. But I need to find one online and get it just to, have in the house. I have a really decent Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees mask I just got not so long ago, but now I need a cool Michael Myers mask to go with it. They may be right. I hope the movie is not too loud or not too quiet in the background. You guys can hear enough to kind of know where I am and sync it up a little bit. So, it's a dog. He got hungry.
Still warm. He got hungry. Could have been a skunk. Could have. It wouldn't do that.
This is no man. That's right. He's Michael Myers, but he's The Shape. Doesn't need a backstory. Don't need to tell you why he's evil or why he kills people. Like I heard some rumors about the Friday 13th. I guess another reboot they're gonna do, or a continuation, whatever they're gonna do. I heard rumors they're gonna like talk about his dad and his backstory and all that kind of crap. I don't need to know that stuff. I just need to know that he's a freaking brute force of nature that doesn't stop. That's it. That's all you need to know. Like, I don't need to know when Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday that some penis-looking demon is going inside of people all the time. And that's how he becomes Jason again. Now that's... Jump scare. Pulls the gun out. Oh, I have a permit. I have a permit for this. Oh, yeah, I got a permit. Hold on. Just a second. love this part.
Yeah, I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
What do we do?
He's been here once tonight. I think he'll come back. I'm gonna wait for him.
I still think I should know
I
about
just,
radio and television.
wow.
If you do that, they'll see him in every street corner. They'll look for him in every house.
Just,
Tell your men to keep their mouths shut and their eyes open.
I'll check back in an hour.
just such a brilliant performance. It's subtle too. It's not over the top or, you know, very theatrical. It's just very subtle and he's terrified at the same time.
Let no one pass this way without a fight. That so said the knight in a bold and haughty manner.
Mhm.
I don't like that story.
I thought King Arthur was your favorite.
Not anymore.
Comic books.
Why did you keep him under there?
Mom doesn't like me to have him.
Laser Man, Neutron Man, I can understand why. Tarantula Man.
Mhm.
Glory, what's the boogeyman?
Who doesn't love comic books, right? Keep reading them, Tommy Doyle.
Hi, Annie, what are you doing?
Having fun? Never mind, I'm sure you are. I have big, big news for you.
Dog growling.
Oops. Hold on a minute. Hi, Lester. I'm about to be ripped apart by the family dog. Lindsay, get this dog out of the
Lindsay. Of course, most people are like, well, he killed a dog. It's like, well,
So what is this
you know.
big, big news? What would you say if I told you that you
Well,
were
he hasn't killed a dog yet.
dance tomorrow night?
Probably say I have the wrong number.
Ben Tramer.
Well, I just talked with Ben Tramer and he got real excited when I told
He
him
got a
how
boner.
excited you were to-
Like a massive boner.
Please tell me you didn't.
Sorry. Just being silly now. This is great. It's the boogeyman. The kids running there on the street for Halloween, trick-or-treating. We live on a main through road, so we don't have trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood. And we didn't go over to my mother-in-law and father-in-law's house tonight to trick-or-treat because my wife is not feeling good today. I missed it. I can't wait to be in a neighborhood again where there's kids and we get to be in that kind of, you know, and I can't wait to have kids of our own so we can be in that, you know, it's going to be great. I love Halloween. I love this time of year. One of my favorite times of year. I just love fall in general. I love the fall weather, the fall air. And I love having Halloween parties. We do that a lot. Lindsay. Lindsay, I need a robe. I remember I was watching this with a friend of mine. I think I was about 17 or 18. He was like, dude, how come Jamie Lee Curtis isn't naked yet? I'm like, dude, she's not naked in this movie. He's like, why am I watching this movie then? I'm like, because it's good. Okay. And then when it's over, he's like, man, that's really good. I was able to like that. That's awesome. I'm like, yeah, it is. Oh, Lester, you should stop.
Lindsay, Lester's barking again and getting on my nerves again.
Lindsay.
Never mind.
Lester found a hot date with murder. That was my cup. You want in the cup holder? I should have got an adult beverage. But I do have to work in the morning, so maybe not. Well, maybe it'll help me sleep. Winchester Pictures. Winchester Brothers Pictures presents a John Winchester production. No. The original version of The Thing. I don't think I've ever seen that, actually. I swear every time I see this movie, I'm like, I need to watch the original version of The Thing. Because I love John Carpenter's version of The Thing. That's another one of my favorite horror films of all time. Which my wife has never seen. And the other day, she was like, what horror movie do you want to watch? Something I've never seen before. I'm like,
What about the jack-o'-lantern?
huh. I should have said The Thing because I have that as well.
What about the rest of my comic books?
How's the jack-o'-lantern?
What about the boogeyman?
There's no such thing.
Richie said he was coming after me tonight.
You believe everything Richie tells you?
No.
Tommy, Halloween night is when people play tricks on each other. It's all make-believe. I think Richie was just trying to scare you.
Yeah.
I saw the boogeyman. I saw him outside.
There was nobody outside.
There was
It could be just a neighbor, buddy.
the boogeyman.
We're not getting it. All right. The boogeyman can only come out on Halloween night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, I'm here tonight. I'm not about to let anything happen to you.
Promise.
Promise.
Can we make the jack-o'-lantern now?
Mm-hmm. Love it. Do you guys carve jack-o'-lanterns still? I know you can't answer me or anything, but I'll post my podcast, my YouTube channel, and I'll leave comment. There'll be the comment section there, and I'll post it on my Facebook page. There's comments, and if you want to, answer these questions I asked during my podcast, that would be great. But does anybody out there still, like, at my age, or when you get older, do you still do jack-o'-lanterns? I still think it's really fun. Like, I did the jack-o'-lantern, like I said, from the intro to this movie, and I'd always wanted to do that. I wasn't going to do a jack-o'-lantern this year, but we went to the grocery store the other night, and there was a really nice-sized pumpkin there. The back of it was not great, but it was just dirt, so I cleaned it off. It was fun. But the front of it was perfect. The 3/4 of it was perfect. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to just carve something random into that for the Halloween party for Saturday night, or for Saturday. Friday night, didn't get to. Stayed up cleaning the kitchen and doing quite a few other things, getting prepared for the party because our party started at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So I carved it tonight, and right before I started, I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm just going to do some random, cool, funny jack-o'-lantern face. But I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to do the jack-o'-lantern from the intro to Halloween, and I've never done it. So I finally got to do it tonight, and it was I guess that's a bucket list thing, a Halloween bucket list. Not really bucket list thing, but just a Halloween list I can check off. Something I've done on Halloween that I've been wanting to do for years. Like, I planned on doing it about 5 or 6 years ago. I had the pumpkin and everything, but I just didn't get the time. I had to work, and then I worked overtime, so I just couldn't do it. So it just didn't work out. I was very upset that I didn't, and I didn't get to carve the pumpkin at all. It was like November 2nd I wanted to carve it. But I was like, it just don't feel right. This one, Annie gets stuck.
Hello?
Hi, Lindsay. This is Paul.
Yes, she is.
Get her for me, will you?
She's washing her clothes.
Look, just tell her it's me, okay?
Okay.
But she hangs the phone back up. I stuck in the window.
You locked yourself in. I know. Oh, my foot. I'm stuck.
me you won't tell anybody about this.
She got stuck in the window. She'll be right here.
Hello? Oh, hi, Paul. All right, cut it out. It can happen to anyone. Yeah, but I've seen you stuck in plenty of other positions.
My parents are gone.
Oh, that's fabulous. When did they leave?
About a half hour ago.
Oh, utterly fantastic. So why don't you just walk over?
You come and pick me up.
Well, I can't come now. My clothes are in the wash. Oh, shut up, jerk. God, I've got a shirt on. That's all you ever think about.
I think that's all you ever.
That's not true. I think about lots of things. Now, why don't we not stand here talking about them and get down to doing them?
I think there was a truck outside my window, by the way. Like a big semi-truck. There's been quite a few of them going by lately. A lot of harvest stuff going on.
Lights off. I don't know. Well, come on, get your coat. We're going to pick up Pa. I don't want to. Look, Lindsay, I thought we understood each other.
Lindsay!
Okay. Well, if I can fix it so you can watch TV with Tommy Doyle, would you like that? Yeah. Well, come with me.
I'm gonna leave the TV on. Big bowl of popcorn. That's what I needed. I should have made one of those. Because that would have been making so much noise on the podcast. You guys would love that. Big jump scare. Love the music. It's very effective when you haven't seen it, or you with people who haven't seen it, and that kind of music, and the jump scare happens, because it still gets people. With the movies and the horror films nowadays, with the culture and the jump scares that there are nowadays, I mean, oh my god, so many movies nowadays are all it is jump scares. It's like, okay, and when they point the camera in the direction where the jump scare is coming from, or they pan the camera out there, you see somebody standing on one corner of the room and they're pointing to an empty doorway on the other side that's dark, and you're like, oh, that's where the jump scare is coming from. That's where it comes from. But I like when it's effective and it's used properly, like in this film and even other films nowadays, like The Conjuring. Lights Out was used very well. Quite a few movies in the last 20 years. But there are some that are just terrible, like Annabelle. It was like, okay, jump scare is coming. Yep, there it is. Jump scare there. Yep, there it was. There's another one. Yep, here comes the jump scare. It's coming. Yep, there it is. It's just, people don't know how to make an effective horror movie nowadays. I swear, like the Ouija film that just came out, the prequel or whatever, was a prequel to a terrible film that was just jump scare after jump scare that you could see coming from miles away. Miles away. But yeah, I've sat with people who've never watched this before, and I love when it gets them. It's great. I love it. The door's locked. She gotta go get keys to the car. Cool jack-o'-lantern on the front porch. My jack-o'-lantern has some LED light changing little candle things in it. Not real tea lights, which is disappointing because it's not flickering like a cool jack-o'-lantern does. But they're changing colors, so it kind of flickers. It kind of looks like a flicker here and there. And the door's unlocked. And it's fogged up in there too. Why is it all foggy? Oh, because he's going to kill you. I know some people will be like, well, that kill's kind of weak, you know, this and that. But yeah, back then you got to remember that was probably traumatizing to people to see that. Move the microphone back just a little bit so my voice isn't as loud. Hope this mic is working out well for me, and hopefully it sounds pretty well. Seems like it's picking up the movie pretty decently in the background, so you guys can kind of hear and know where I am on the movie. I'm sorry I haven't done any timestamps at all. I completely forgot which buttons to push on the damn PS4 to bring up the frickin' timestamps, so I apologize. But the way that you can hear in the background, I guess, kind of helps where you can sync it up to. So I'm sorry. This is a great shot here, where he's carrying her body. To the music, to the thing is in the background playing. It just fits it so well. Such great tone in this film. Carpenter directed the living crap out of this movie. He just really, really did. Boogeyman's outside.
Tommy, stop it! Now there's nobody out there. There's no boogeyman, and if you don't stop all this, I'm gonna have to turn off the TV and send you to bed.
That would suck. I believe you, Tommy. It's like she's in there making the jack-o'-lantern without them. And they're watching the movie. This is freaking great. He's watching the house. And just one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
I'm not afraid. Fool. I'm not. Now go in. Chicken. Go ahead, Lonnie.
Get him, Lonnie.
Go in.
Hey. Hey, Lonnie. Get your ass away from there.
Lonnie, get your ass away from there. He scares them. And then the sheriff scares the shit out of him. Who comes up behind you and grabs you on the shoulder like that? Who does that? Oh, that's funny.
Parking, getting high. I have a feeling that you're way off on this.
You have the wrong feeling.
You're not doing very much to prove me wrong.
What more do you need?
Well, it's going to take more than fancy talk to keep me up all night crawling around these bushes.
I watched him for 15 years, sitting in a room, staring at a wall, not seeing the wall, looking past the wall, looking at this night, inhumanly patient,
Mm-hmm.
waiting for some secret, silent alarm to trigger him off.
Triggered.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You can either ignore it, or you can help me.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff.
Talk. Doctor, you know what Haddonfield is? Families, children, all lined up in rows up and down these streets. You're telling me they're lined up for a slaughterhouse?
They could be.
All right, I'll stay with you tonight. Just on the chance that you're right. And if you are right, damn you for letting him go.
Occasionally you hear cars. That's cars going by my window. We live on Main 3 Road, so. This microphone's picking up pretty much everything. It's a really decent microphone. I like it. It's a Shure microphone. And I read quite a few reviews on it. It has a direct lightning port or plug-in. I haven't used it to try to record for YouTube yet, or you record a video, so we'll see how that works. Speaking of that, guys, I know this is not the greatest time to say it. I probably won't be doing any videos for a little bit because I've got a really nice tripod I had that just snapped in half, basically. I thought it was decent, but then it turns out it's a piece of shit. So, we're going to get a new one here in the next couple weeks, and we'll get the videos start going back up. We'll continue the podcasts and get those on the YouTube channel as well. So, and now, I can't remember their name. Bob and crap. Totally. 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 We're gonna come hang out and drink with the kids. It's like I love how they just barge in to where Annie is babysitting Lindsay and they have beers in their hands and shit, expecting them to be there. And that's not the best thing to do in front of kids. PJ Souls is the actress's name. I can't remember her name of her character. Here comes the jack-o'-lantern. Had a friend of mine actually carve that jack-o'-lantern as well when he was younger.
Hey, nobody's getting anybody. Stop scaring each other.
Love it. Just two little eyes, little mouth. Cool looking jack-o'-lantern. Big jack-o'-lantern too. Probably took a long time to take the insides out.
Everybody's having a good time. Alright, you guys, what's next? No, we've had enough. Why don't we watch the rest of the movie?
Movie time. Scary movie time. Just sat down and got comfortable not to get up and get to the phone. That's always fun.
Hi, Lori. What's up? Hey, is Annie around? No, I thought she'd be home by now. She went to pick up Paul. Well, she's totally not.
Totally.
She probably stopped off someplace. Have her call me when she gets home and I'll have Lindsay.
Okay. Later. We definitely will.
Bye.
Lindsay is gone for the night.
Now that's wonderful.
Let's go upstairs and do it. Because the parents could be back any minute, though. Just don't know what. Where are the parents? Better sex scene than the room. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. If you haven't seen The Room, yeah, go check that out. That's just the worst movie ever.
Why can't? What if it's the Wallaces? Get in trouble.
The Wallaces. He's there. He's like, I gotta watch this. Totally.
Is that all you can say? Go get me a beer.
Thought you were gonna get me one.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Don't get dressed.
I'll be right back. One of the things you never say in a horror movie, right? Scream. Another great movie that reinvented the genre and just turned it upside down on its head. By another fantastic director, Wes Craven. Like this scene here, another great scene, another great kill scene. People that I talk to that haven't seen this forever, or remember it a certain way too, will be like, "Oh my gosh, remember the scene in the kitchen where all the blood when he stabbed him against the wall?" I'm like, you need to go back and watch that because there was no blood there. And they're like, "Oh my god, there's blood everywhere." Like, yeah, you remember that a different way than I did. Because people remember things the way their brain interprets it when they're younger, and it kind of just grows. I don't know. I don't know how that happened, especially with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like I was saying earlier.
Come on now.
The knife goes in. Like how he dies and goes limp pretty instantly. I love how he just kind of looks at it and turns his head from side to side like, that's pretty cool. Did I do that? I want to do that again. But yeah, that is just such a great scene. I love this. He opens the door. He's got the sheet on like a ghost, but he also has Paul's glasses on. It's so great.
My beer?
Cute, Bob, real cute.
Michael Myers took the time to make a sheet like a ghost. Like there's holes in the sheet. Like he cut holes in the sheet.
See anything you like? What's the matter? Can I get your ghost, Bob? All right, come on. Where's my beer? Well, can't you answer me? You don't answer me.
Well, I'm gonna call Lori. I want to know where Paul and Annie are. This is going nowhere.
Great music. Might be the first time they played it. Yeah, I think it is.
Hello? Hello? All right, Annie. First I get your famous chewing, now I get your famous squealing. Annie, are you all right? Are you fooling around again?
That's what she would. Yeah,
Joke.
yeah. Oh, those old rotary telephones. Such a great soundtrack, or score, sorry. Such a great score. I mean, it's one of those things you could turn on during a Halloween party while people are having a good time and playing games or whatever. This could just play. Back to the Myers house. Getting very impatient. Right, Loomis? Like, I gotta... Love how he just turns around and happens to see the car. Right there. Like, well, not right next to him. It's like a lot further down the road. Because he's been paying attention to the house the whole night. Like, I had a friend tell me that one time. He's like, well, of course the car's like right there when it needs to be. Like, dude, he's been paying attention to the house all night. He was going to answer. He finally started looking around a little bit more. But yeah. Don't do it, Lori. Don't do it. Don't go check on him. Getting the keys. Spare keys to the Wallace's house. I love how she just looks from over there from the porch and, should I go? You could tell she's thinking, should I really do this? That was just me itching. The atmosphere this movie creates is just... I watched Chris Stuckman on YouTube did a review, and he kind of summed it up pretty perfectly, because even though this is a horror film, it's a cozy horror film. It's got that, like, you just want to bundle up on the couch in the blanket and cuddle up and watch Halloween. That's what you want to do. This movie is something you just want to sit back and watch. It's cozy and it's comfortable. Makes you feel good. I mean, and not like feel good for these people getting killed and stuff, but it makes you feel good that you're watching such a great movie. Like, you feel comfortable watching it, so it's like a cozy, warm, like, blanket. Linda? Linda, that's who that was, Linda. Love the jack-o'-lantern. And the vampire teeth. Does she go? I don't remember if she goes in the garage or not. I don't think she does. No, she sees the open door. Yeah, that's right.
Daddy? Linda? Bob?
There was another car driving by. People were like, how many cars are in the Halloween movie? Did I not remember that? I'm like, no, that's a bunch of cars driving on my main road. Next to my house. Time to take another drink with this great apple cider. That was really good. It's like she's in a modern haunted house now. She goes around, things fall out at her and stuff. I wonder if that's what started the modern haunted house. That's another thing that's part of Halloween to me, is that going to a haunted house with your friends. I still do it. We did it this year, and I'm going to continue to do it. My kids are old enough, and we have kids, I'll take them. Such a great time of year. This movie just brings it all together. Like it just the nostalgia from this film is not the only reason I love it, but it's just one of the main. It's a big reason. The atmosphere, the score, the directing, the shots that he uses, the foreground, the background. I mean, he just uses everything. The way there's a shot coming up with Michael Myers being revealed. When it gets up to it, I'll talk about it more. But he just does some great things in this movie that hadn't been done like that before, that I know of. I remember I wondered the whole movie, like, what the hell happened to that tombstone? Why did you take the damn tombstone? Like, we're gonna see the stupid thing. What happened to that? Sorry. That was me kicking the table here. And there it is. Our beloved daughter, Judith Myers, with Annie. And then there's another truck going by. Oh, there's Bob. Okay, this shot coming up. Okay, so she gets the wall here. There's a blacked out room. He said he turned up the brightness just slowly, and it revealed him right there in the room. Just such a brilliant shot. Doom, doom, doom. One of my favorite parts of the score. He's coming to get you. Just, yeah. The fact that he was never really good with writing music, or he couldn't carry a tune or hold a note. You can't tell because he did a great job with this amazing score. Very subtle, though, but it was so effective. Come on, Laurie. Come on. Go, Laurie, go. He's coming. It's like, why those people didn't open the door, but, it's Halloween night, of course. They probably thought it was just a bunch of punk-ass kids. Like, There he is. Took him a while to get around there. Tommy, hurry up. I don't remember her locking the door when she left. Okay, yeah, she did. Never mind. Phone's dead. He knows what he's doing.
Oh no. Please stop. Please.
Right in the neck with that sewing needle. I remember when I was a kid. Of course, when you first see this movie, you're like, okay, it's finally over. He's dead. It's up there. He is. He's finally dead. He got stabbed in the neck. There ain't no way he's gonna be coming back. It sucks. He's dead. Well, not. It doesn't suck. It's great for her. It's a big knife. Loomis. Just walking the block. Like, he's got to be around here somewhere. I know he's around here somewhere. Come on, come on. Where are you, Michael? Where are you? Michael, where are you? Michael? The sheriff.
Where were you? I went to the Myers house.
I found the car. He's here. Where? He's 3 blocks down. You go around the back of the houses. I'll watch the front. Go on.
I love how he's telling the sheriff to do his job. He's like, you go around. I'll watch the front. Go. I'm like, all right. I'll tell you how to do your freaking job. Well, I mean, I guess they kind of listen to him because he knows who this guy is and knows what he's doing. So,
Tommy? Lindsay? Babies? I'm gonna take a little walk.
Boogeyman. Scared.
There's nothing to be scared of.
Are you sure?
there he is.
Killed it.
You can't kill the boogeyman.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Get in there, come on, Tommy. Now lock the door.
He's definitely shaking because he's had a needle in his freaking neck. By the way, I'm wearing a t-shirt that has him breaking into the closet on the cover, on the front of it. Just ordered it this year. Realized I didn't have any Halloween movie t-shirts, so I was like, you know what? I gotta get one. One of my favorite parts of the scenes in the movie here where he's go breaking through with the light when it comes on. Just perfect. Such an iconic scene too. This is like this generation's Psycho shower scene. For real. There, he comes in, yep. The light, he turns the light on, I believe, or the light, yep, there, the light turns on, and that's just, it's so iconic. Iconic? Screen junkies. Hal Rednick from Screen Junkies says iconic all the time. Stab him in the eye. Drops the knife. Oh, now stab him with a knife. That was such a great and intense scene. I believe I saw this before I saw Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho too, so this was like, that was the equivalent of the shower scene for me. Go around him slowly. Don't drop the knife. Kids.
Tommy, unlock the door. Come here. Listen to me. When you go down the stairs, out the front door, I want you to go down the street to the Mackenzie's house. I want you to tell them to call the police and tell them to send them over here. Now, do you understand me? Go do as I say.
Okay, it's another one of my favorite shots here. She's in the foreground, he's in the background, and he uses the background. And there he pops up. Music starts again. Just a brilliant shot. Kid's running out. Loomis sees him. And he knows this is the freaking house. Here we go. She stands up. He stands up at the same time. She's shaking. He's right behind her. And yep, he starts choking her. She pulls his mask off here, I believe. Yeah. Yep, there it is. He's like, oh my god, my mask. There's a great shot of him, too. He's standing there like, give it to me again. He's dead. He emptied a freaking clip or emptied 6 into him.
What's the boogeyman?
Yep. As a matter of fact, it was.
As a matter of fact, it was.
And he's freaking gone. When I first saw this, I was like, what? How is he gone? He just took 6 bullets. There's no way he's gone. There's no way he's still alive. There's no way. Hell no. But yeah, he is. This leads into Halloween 2, and this ending here is right where it's just him breathing and showing the random places. Yep, there we go. Halloween. And that was John Carpenter's Halloween from 1978. Credits are rolling now. That was a great time. I get to watch that with you guys. I hope somebody of you watches this with me. I know I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have a lot of podcast followers either right now, but we're growing. So hopefully, even if down the road people are listening to this years from now, I hope you're enjoying this from when I did it. One of my favorite movies of all time. Probably my favorite horror film of all time. I'm going to say yes. My favorite horror film of all time, for sure. Probably probably going to watch Halloween 2 very soon. I might do a commentary on that as well, or a review at least. My review on this film, with directing and editing and the story's not very like great, but what Carpenter did with it makes it a lot more than it was. If I'm going to grade this movie, I don't even really know what kind of freaking grade scale I'm using yet anymore. So if I would do A to F, I'd give it an A. If I was doing 10 through 1, I'd probably give it like a 9.5 out of 10. But yeah, actually I'd probably get a 9.7 or 9.8. It's that good, in my opinion. The performances are really good. I know there's a couple of them that some people think are just terrible, but it fits this film. It fits this film. If it was a better performance or a different actress, it wouldn't fit this film the way it was done. It wouldn't work. It's just a teenager, they're teenagers. It's not supposed to be an Oscar-worthy performance, but yeah. I'm glad they got Donald Pleasance to play Loomis. It's awesome. But I'm Jeff. This is the Geek Blend. It's Halloween. It's still Halloween for 15 minutes, so hope you guys enjoyed this, my first audio commentary. I hope the microphone wasn't too fucking terrible. Oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Hope the microphone wasn't too terrible for you. I hope everything worked out really well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope somebody listened to it. Hopefully you guys will use this every Halloween when you watch Halloween, so we can watch it together. Maybe I'll do a different one next year, or maybe I'll just do a live watch-along party with you guys or something like that. But again, thanks for listening. If you're on YouTube, thanks for watching. I'm Jeff. This is the Geek Blend. It's still Halloween. Happy Halloween. Hope you had a really good one this year. I'll see you next time. Keep on geeking.